Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right. And here we are again for the Trench Mob Show, the best show around. And with me as always, Julius Williams. Julius, great to see you.
How to do, brother?
Coach Jordan, you're the man. Yeah. And special guest, we have Mr. Lewis Kidd, Coach Kidd, joining us from Minnesota, part of the Minnesota workout that we saw a couple weeks ago. Thank you for being part of this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me. Excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, you guys, I saw the film. You got some real talent up there, and it's great that the 5v5 is expanding, the Trench Mob's expanding, and it's all good for linemen. We get to have some fun now.
100%, man. It's all about bringing the light to these guys. So super excited to be a part of something special and get this thing rolling. We're excited to compete.
So you've known Julius for quite some time, I understand.
Yes, sir. We've known each other for the better half of the year, I would say, and honestly, we just both have a similar work ethic and a similar mentality when it comes to helping these kids. And through our mutual connection to Nehemiah and Ko Quay, one of our coaches, we've kind of just hit it off, and we kind of hit the ground running and really started something special here.
Do you coach high school as well, or anything like that?
No, I'm not tied to one specific school. I'm the director of football operations for a gym in the cities called Training House. It's connected to Twin City Orthopedics. So I'm the kind of the head guy when it comes to the high school side of things, and then as well as the middle school and elementary that we're starting with, and then I help with the college and combine pro guys, combine pro day guys, and then some of the NFL guys that come back as well.
How have things been going up there? So as far as recruiting goes, because I know Minnesota is a little bit out there. I mean, do you get a good number of coaches that come through?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. And now more than ever, There's guys with a ton of offers, a ton of interest. Coaches are through every day. Seeing a lot of kids, being connected in it this year. Last year I wasn't as obviously I didn't follow as many kids on social media at this point last year. So through this year, gaining some more followers from those guys and seeing all the coaches coming through is amazing. Northwestern, Michigan State, Michigan, all the Dakotas, Montana State, a lot of Big Sky schools, a lot of Missouri Valley, Big Ten. We got some guys starting to get some SEC offers. So I think those Southern boys are starting to see what we got cooking up here too. So I think it's a great time to be a Minnesota recruit for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. And being up there, it's different. It's a different brand of football. You guys are tough. You guys are physical. And do you work with specific kids, just linemen? Do you work with all kids? Do you help
Yeah.
out everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, so Training House works with all kids. Line of scrimmage,
Okay.
which is under Training House, which is kind of the portion that I run, is really targeted at O line, D line. We do a little bit with the tight ends and the linebackers, and we're trying to continue to expand with our football academy that we're starting up here. So we've got connections to pretty much every position coach you can think of, with college and professional experience. So we're really kind of starting to build this overarching theme of athletes developing and getting better for the fall.
And how long have you been doing it for personally?
I've been in it for about a year, so I retired after last season.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So hung it up, and yeah, now I'm just about a full year in.
How is it being on the other side?
It's good, man. It's a change. It's definitely a little bit different, but I'm enjoying the time home. I'm enjoying the time around my loved ones, my family, and yeah, it's awesome being able to still be around the game in a sense and help the next generation for sure.
What's the biggest thing that you're seeing as far as, the kids that you're working with, as far as what they're lacking in skill set?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know that there's a ton of kids that I mean, obviously you're gonna have kids that are lacking in skill set everywhere. Kids that, and especially with the position group that we work with, kids don't understand how to move their body.
Yeah.
Especially when you give a kid this big size and this big frame, and you get these 14-year-old kids that are built like college offensive linemen, and it's like they don't know how to run properly. They don't know how to move their feet properly. So really it's more about the development. But at the same time, we got a lot of kids that it's just the raw natural talent is there. And it's just a matter of giving them an opportunity to compete in the off season and build that craft. I talked to a bunch of guys who are around my age. I graduated in 2016. Like a lot of guys in this space that are helping me coach that graduated right around then. And every time we say, we wish we would have had something like this when we were coming through, somewhere where guys like us could get together, similar mindsets, trade knowledge, kind of all that good stuff. And so that's kind of what we're trying to provide for these kids.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, especially, high school coaches can't do it all. And all these kids now, they need that extra coaching. They don't understand the reps that it takes to really develop and become skilled. And I'm sure that's something you're working on, and you're going to be doing, you said, one tournament. What tournament are you guys going to?
Yeah, we'll be going to the two Florida tournaments. So I think currently our plan is to fly down to Georgia, and then we're going to join up with Trenchmouth down there, and then we're gonna drive to Tampa, do the tournament on the 18th of April, and then we'll drive down to Miami and do the tournament there on Sunday. So one
And
weekend, two tournaments.
how many kids do you plan on traveling? Is that
Ideally, we'll travel 30. That's the goal. We'll have an A and a B team. Originally, kind of thought this was going to be a one team kind of year, especially with us kind of introducing it up here. Leading up to the tryout, it was funny talking to kids and parents, and you know, even like days up to the tryout, people being like, "Oh, what's 5-on-5? I've never heard of that." So, still
yeah.
a relatively new space up here. But then at the tryout, we had a ton of great show outs, and a bunch of kids that were like, "Dang, I got a wrestling match, or I got basketball practice, or this, that, and whatever hockey." So, I think there's going to be a couple couple guys that aren't on this initial roster that could sneak their way on. And at the end of the day, if we got to create another team just to kind of get it going, we might, because there's a ton of talented kids, that's for sure.
So you feel going to these tournaments with the guys that you have, I mean, you got some pretty good players. I mean, I saw the film. You're confident going in with their skill sets. You think they're going to perform well, and
Yeah,
it's going to be baptism by fire, which Julius
one
says is
hundred
always
percent.
great. Yeah.
That's the best way to go about it. I think you take a look around at the guys that kind of do this thing and do it for a long time. Is I think everybody's kind of got a story of that baptism by fire. Like you don't know what you don't know, and you get thrown into a situation, and you just you got to go. It's almost like a fight or flight thing. So it's really cool and really exciting that we're going to get our kids a chance and an opportunity to do this early on. A couple kids are going to be freshmen. We'll have a couple sophomores. So getting some kids to understand, like, hey, this is the level we got to be at and compete at early on. I think it's going to prove to be a pretty great year for learning and growing for sure. So that's kind of the big goal. I'm in no sense thinking we're going to go out and just start winning a bunch of tournaments right away, but I truly think we've got the opportunities and the athletes to compete for sure.
Julius, what was your experience? Because you were out there in Minnesota, you saw the kids, you were on the ground floor with them. How did you think they did, and how do you think that they'll develop?
Well, I personally think they did great, man. I mean, for it to be the very, very first ever tryout, 5v5 tryout for Minnesota, I was blown away, man. I mean, I never in a million, like Lewis said, like when we first started talking about doing this, we didn't have any real expectations. We knew we just wanted to do it, and with the success of Nehemiah, and he mentioned Cole Quay. Cole Quay is a guy that me and Anthony played with down in Jacksonville with the
Right.
Jaguars. And I played with him again in Canada with the Edmonton Eskimos. So Cole's a guy who I spent a few years with and have known for a while. And, my buddy of mine started a healthcare in Minnesota, Dennis. So I was going back and forth to Minnesota anyway, building this healthcare business. Reached out to Cole. We were like, hey, man, let's get this going. And Lewis had just retired, so he took over line of scrimmage. So now that brings us together. So, I mean, going into it, we didn't have any real expectations. I thought maybe 20, 30 guys, to go up there and, hopefully we can find a couple more Nehemiahs, that would, from Minnesota that can get out here and, and make a name for the state like Nehemiah has. And I'll tell you right now, man, there's at least, from that tournament, I saw at least 7, 8 guys that are like bona fide P3 talent, and even more guys, maybe 25 or so guys that I know can play at the Division I level, you know. And it's crazy, man, because since I've been gone from Minnesota now almost 2 weeks, and I'm still getting messages from kids asking, like me and Lewis were on the phone yesterday saying, hey, man, we got to do another tryout or another event or something because there's so many kids saying that, hey, I couldn't make it because of wrestling practice, because of basketball practice, because of, this or that. Or a lot of kids just didn't know that it was going to be as exciting as it looked on social media. And shout out to Prep Red Zone and, and the rest of the media platforms from Minnesota that came out and made it an even better event. I was just excited, leaving that event as I was leaving the Trench Mob, Georgia event.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Coach Lewis, recruiting has changed so much. I mean, you're obviously younger than Julius and myself. What would you say the biggest misconception that you see as far as, dealing with parents and having to educate parents, what they know, what they don't know, what they need to know?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. I talk to parents all the time, and I would say there's a lot less parents who say they know, who are confident. I think back in the day, you have, oh, well, I know exactly what's going on. I think parents are starting to recognize that this is a landscape that is constantly changing. And no amount of parental advice, unfortunately, is going to make a difference. You know what I mean? There's too many things to navigate at this point where, unfortunately, and fortunately, I guess, kids are getting a lot of money, but unfortunately, they've kind of got to deal with those repercussions and the consequences that come with those contracts. And so, we've got some agents that come to the gym and kind of help us out and help us navigate that space. But I think the biggest misconception for parents is probably just, he's just in the gym working out. It's like he's doing what he needs to do. And it's like, okay, that's great. But like, it's funny, you get athletes that are like, okay, I really want to play college football. And it's like, okay, what year are you? It's like, okay, next year's my senior year. It's like, okay, well, when do you want to start
Yeah.
working? I want to start working right away. And then it's like, okay, well, let's go. And then it's like, but I have lacrosse or I have golf
Right.
or I have track. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. And like, my old coach, when I first started to do this, he's a great coach here in Minnesota, Coach Jeff Ferguson, won a bunch of state championships. I kind of use him as a little bit of a guidebook and a little bit of a, a mentor in this. And I was like, what do you think about me doing this? And he's like, are you trying to make the kids specialize? Like, it feels like that. I'm like, no, I'm not. But there's a ton of kids out here that pretty much specialize anyway, and I was one of those kids that was just doing basketball and just doing track to stay in shape for football. And not only that, we have a ton of guys who play other sports that football is their main sport no matter what. And so giving those guys that opportunity to get in the gym is what, parents kind of need to know is like, hey, there's more to this than just lifting and running. There is so many more reps that go into it, and unfortunately, with the way our state and our rules are set up, it's not like Georgia, it's not like Florida, it's not like California. We don't have a spring ball. We don't have.
Oh,
There's a ton of non-contact periods. So basically from November until May, June, coaches can't have contact with their parents or with their athletes in any direct form, any type of direct coaching. And then in the
like
summer,
even lifting
it,
weights or anything? You can't
they
have
they
like a
can
lifting
pass
program?
by. They can have the lifting program, but no type of practices, no
Drill
type of
work.
field work, no type of drill work.
Yeah.
It's just that. So unfortunately, a lot of these big guys, it's wrestle, it's go play hockey, it's go throw track or go throw the disc or the shot, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next fall type of thing. So we're in this space of trying to operate in the in between to help give these guys a boost for their seasons.
Do you think that a high school kid, can play two sports and still have success making
100%.
football their main sport and go with that?
100%.
I don't think you can do three. I think you can do two.
I think especially, I think you can do the third, and just from my experience, it seems like that third sport. I feel like normally, like if you have a kid that plays three sports, normally the falls vary. It asks a lot of them. Football asks a lot of them,
Yeah.
and then that winter sport typically also asks a lot of them, schedule wise, practice wise. But I feel like once you start getting into the spring sports, they're a little bit more, I've always felt that spring
Yeah.
sports are a little bit more lax. School's ending. It's kind of the last few months before everything kind of finishes up for the summer. I think kids can feel better getting out of track practice than they do a basketball practice. So, yeah, I think that plays into it for sure. But two sports, and honestly, for all my big guys, like I always tell them to play other sports because it's like you need to learn skills in footwork and how your body works. Like you're a young kid and you're knocking on the door at 300 pounds. Like that's not normal. That's not what every other kid has to deal with. So you got to kind of do everything you can to get athletic.
Yeah. And it develops other muscle groups, muscles you don't work.
100%.
And it is a challenge. Football is so demanding, but the other thing I say, there's more opportunity in football than any other sport at the collegiate level.
100%.
Whether it's Division I, Division II. You got 85 scholarships, and it's going to be more. They're cutting down the roster limit, but even with the finances now, it's so lucrative. You can't ignore that, and it's good to see that they're putting into it.
100%.
Coach Jordan, what are your thoughts on Minnesota getting involved, having a team, going to a tournament, and seeing what they do?
I love it. I mean, when you think about 5v5 and you think about the main states, you think about California, you think about Florida, you think about Utah, you think about Georgia. And not even necessarily Georgia, because there's literally only 2 teams in Georgia, which is us and AIE, and Top Flight down in Valdosta. I was wrong, Julius. But with Minnesota coming in, it gives them a new little venture on what's another way to get recruited, what's another way to get the big dudes out there and show them what they can do. Because no disrespect, Lewis, I know you live in Minnesota. Minnesota is not one of those states that you go to and you say, okay, I want that kid there. I want this kid here because of those rules. No spring ball, no type of weightlifting things and all that. That can be a real downfall. But then you look at kids like Nehemiah, you look at kids like Bo, who's going to be good. And then there was another kid that Julius brought up last week who had a Miami offer. Those type of kids are rare to come in the state of Minnesota. So for them to come on the road and basically do what Nehemiah did last year and put on for Minnesota, for it to be a whole team to go against kids from California, Florida, Utah, Detroit, Pittsburgh, I think it's a good feeling, especially when there's no type of spring ball, when there's no type of spring activity. It gives the big dude something to say, okay, I can't put on helmet and shoulder pads, but I can still thud up and still do what I have to do. So I'm with it. I'm all for it. I've met Lewis one time. This is my first time meeting him. He seems like a good dude. Coach Julius has nothing but good things to say about him. And like he said, the 7 and 8 kids out of 60, 70 kids that was there, it definitely can be another 20, 30, but I love it. I'm ready for it.
Julius, you think that you'll be able to find time to get out there again and do another day where you look at kids and try to bring more kids in?
For sure, man. I mean, I was talking to Lewis, and Eric and Bill, the leaders up there, man. And I'm going to be in Minnesota anyway. We're in the process of building a healthcare, facility in Minnesota. So I was going to be there doing business anyway. So I mean, that's how it started. Like I said, my former teammate Cole Quay, like, hey man, I'm up here at least once every month or 2 months, building this healthcare business. Hey man, I would love to work with some D linemen when I'm here. I love to see what you guys are doing, over at line of scrimmage. Before I even know what training house was, I was already following line of scrimmage because a good friend of mine, Cole Quay, was doing it. And I just pretty much saw them as the trench mob of Minnesota, for what they were doing, man. So I always wanted to get connected with them. Me and Lewis were talking about doing another event soon. We already have an event planned in May, that we're going to do for sure. So hopefully we can get another one in the spring plan as well. And I think the sky's the limit for Minnesota, man. And I was telling Chris, from Cali, GSA, and I was telling Coach O from Florida, because they kind of, honestly, they kind of chuckled at Minnesota. Like, Minnesota, I'm like, okay, chuckling now, but Minnesota gonna be whooping ass when they come on the road. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you don't think it's a game, because like the kids that I saw up there, they're hungry, and they remind me a lot of myself. I shared my story with those kids. I don't come from a talent-rich area. I come from Towers High School. It's been around since 1942, and there was only one NFL player, by the time of by 2004. They came out of there in 2004, and now we got 2 more guys that came out and went to the NFL. But in the whole history since 1942, there's only been 3 NFL guys, because it's not a talent-rich area. And those kids in Minnesota remind me of me, man, because they're eager to get on. They're eager to go out and show the world that they can play. And I'll take those kids out of, over a decorated 4-star or 5-star from Georgia any day, who thinks his shit doesn't stink, who thinks that he can just, show up and offers are going to keep piling in, because, like I know, those offers disappear. There can be a guy with 40 offers, and next thing you know, he gets the big head, and, he doesn't play as hard, or, stop showing up, and all those offers, go away. So, I'm excited to see what Minnesota has to offer. I can name a handful of kids. We got some kids going with us to California this weekend, that I talked to Good friend of mine, Coach Henny out there, Eric Henderson, and he's excited to see, some of those kids that are coming from Minnesota. So I mean, I don't want to, I can't make any promises, but I feel like, some of those kids that are coming with us from Minnesota are going to get USC offers and UCLA offers, when they get out there because they're excited to see those guys. So we're just happy and lucky to bring those guys.
All right, we are going to start watching some of the film that we got sent.
Before we do that, where is Lewis? Is Lewis still in here? I know he has.
Yeah, he is.
Lewis,
My bad.
no, you're good. You're good. We all got important shit going on. Lewis, you went to Montana State.
Yes,
made
sir.
it to the NFL. And Coach Julius, you tell me if I'm wrong. There are a plethora of people in this world that talk to us and ask Julius, how did he do it? What's going on? What were the metrics? What were going on? For the people at the crib that's watching this, there's a lot of people that watch, even for the people that really don't know your story. Mm-hmm. Not too deep, but give everyone that little origin for you. What was your recruiting like? What was the highs? What were the lows? You're a former NFL guy. You're important. Julius Williams, y'all two are important. I'm just the innocent bystander. I got to get this knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yep, for
Give
sure.
everybody in the hood that Lewis kid recruiting story. How did he go from Montana State to get to the NFL, where we all know only a handful of guys can get to?
1%.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I remember getting my first offer from South Dakota, University of South Dakota, as a junior, and
The
I remember getting
Jackrabbits?
the Coyotes, the Yotes.
South Dakota State is a Jackrabbit.
Yes, sir. So I get this official letter, get it in the mail, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to get an offer to go to play college football. I knew I wanted to. I always knew that I wanted to play college football, play in the NFL, but until I opened that letter, I was like, damn, like I didn't know I needed one of these. So that kind of woke me up in a sense. I was a little late to the party. I knew I needed to get out and get to camps and all that stuff. I ended up getting offers from South Dakota, University of Montana, Montana State. The first two, South Dakota and Montana wanted me as an offensive lineman. And I was a hardhead, and I told myself that I was a D lineman through and through, and that no one was going to tell me differently. And I ended up getting I got an offer from University of New Mexico to play defensive end. So I was like, okay, well, if they're offering me as a DN, then I'm definitely a DN. And then something happened, filled up on scholarships. I ended up going out to Montana State to visit them. And funny enough, the guy who recruited me to Montana State, he was at the University of Montana. So he brought me out to Montana first, sold me on that. I was about to commit there. And then he flipped to the rivals, Montana State. And he's like, I want you to come with me. And the rest is history. That's where I was. That's where I committed. I loved it. Went to Montana State. We started off my first year, I believe we were 4-7 or 3-8 or something like that. We were terrible. And then, I remember there was a senior, JP Flynn, who ended up making it to the league for a little bit as well. Offensive lineman. He came up to me. He was like, don't let your senior year be like this. And I just remembered like those words like shook in my head as a freshman. It was after like one of our last games and they had just lost senior day or something like that. And we were all at dinner and he said it to us and our families. And we were like, dang, like we kind of gotta go here. I don't want to walk out of this school like that.
No.
So, me and luckily my roommates and the people that I surrounded myself with, we put our heads down and we worked. We got extra work. We were, in the facility 6-7 days a week. We were grinding, and I remember being like, "This is what it takes." And I always knew I had that goal. So my parents always had said, like, if you don't get it done in the classroom, we're gonna pull you off of school. So I kind of always had that ingrained in me as well. And then, I made a lot of sacrifices. I didn't party, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do any of that stuff. And there was opportunities to do it, obviously. And there was, times where it was like, that's easy. I could go do that. But, making those sacrifices and not going out, even in college, not really going out, being the guy that was around at 2 a.m. to give rides to teammates and make sure that everybody got home safe and taking care of my brothers. Like that was the role I kind of assumed. And through all that, God's blessing and a lot of hard work and just, dedication to it, I was able to kind of climb the ranks and do what I needed to do in college. And then, was able to do my brief stint in the league. And that was awesome. It was amazing. It was a dream come true. Obviously, a goal that I had set for myself since, I could remember since I was a kindergartner, telling kids that I was
Yeah.
going to play in the NFL, and kids laughing at me and teachers laughing at me, and yeah, yeah, yeah. And,
And the
finally
feeling.
doing it was amazing, man. And, never had anything against those people, because it is a crazy goal. And I tell people all the time, it's like, you got to be crazy to play this game, and to be that dedicated to it. And I think the best guys in this game are the craziest. So, it was very cool. It was an awesome experience. Wouldn't change anything for the world. I'm glad I got to do it when I did. And, the relationships and the story that I have is unforgettable for sure.
Yeah. And the impact that you're going to have on kids, that is going to be most rewarding now
100%.
that you're in the coaching sector. When you
Yes,
see the
sir.
impact you have on kids, when you see the kids that you're working with go off and play in college, at big programs, it's really going to be rewarding. So,
Steve, he said
Yes, sir.
something very important. I know we're pulling the film up. And Lewis, if you got to jump off at any time, man, just let us know. I know your time is
Yep.
valuable as we get into the film. But the thing is, man, he said something very keen. And the thing I want to say is the best football players don't make it to the NFL.
Oh,
You know, I mean, there's so many guys that I played with in high school or played against in high school that were amazing at this game. There's so many guys that I played with at UConn and against at UConn that you're like, I know that guy's going to be a first round draft pick. I know that guy's going to play in the league for a long time. But it's the most focused and determined guys. It's the guys that are willing to handle business. The kids in high school, they go P3. It's the kids that are thinking about football, but they're also thinking about clearinghouse. They're also thinking about having a 3.5 GPA. They're also thinking about not being a knucklehead. He said something also came about, just think about the selfless attitude that he had. He said he was around at 2 in the morning,
giving guys
yeah,
to give kids rides. You know
he
what I
be
mean?
picking me up
You
at
know,
Huskies.
yeah, man, and that reminds me, man, I can remember my freshman year, man. I tell this story a lot, but I was walking home from a party and I saw Darren Orlowski throwing up, and I'm thinking that he was drunk,
Running the
coming from a
stadium.
party, but he was actually running stadium stairs, while everybody else was out partying. He was running stadium stairs and throwing, and so bad that he was throwing up at 2 in the morning. And that's why he played 13, 14 years in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so if a kid is watching, if a parent is watching, it's such bigger than just being a good football player or being tall and big and fast.
Right.
It's about the intangibles, the thing that you're
The
doing
attitude.
off the field, off the court. Like you said, having the right attitude, making good grades, being focused, because that focus is going to carry you a lot longer, a lot further than your talent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, don't matter where you go, they gonna
It,
come
do-
get
it
you.
doesn't.
My
That's
dog
the
went to
biggest thing.
Montana State. Julius went to UConn.
Exactly.
Two schools that they got a lot of people there, but it's rare because everybody wants to go to the P5s. Everybody wants
I
to go
know,
to
it
the
drives me
LSU.
nuts.
With Texas, the Tennessees, and all that, you can be just as good as the dog at a Montana State, at a UConn, at a UAB, at a Limestone, at a South Austin, and they will still come get you. So never get in your mind that, I got to go to these big schools to get to the
No.
league,
They will
especially in
find you.
today's world where people are asking to go back to college. People are suing the NCAA to go back. And
Yeah.
you got a free reign
6,
to go
7 years.
after your 3 or 4 years. So handle business.
Yeah, man, don't just chase the names, man. A lot of these kids are chasing these names, and they
I
know,
it's driving me
they're
nuts.
not equipped to play that kind of ball, or they got to transfer down anyway. So
Right.
you'll go to Georgia and then end up at a UConn or a Montana State, or a Valdosta State, because you were just chasing those big names and you weren't prepared, So anybody, I mean, vice versa. I mean, most of the guys from UGA, that become stars, a lot of those guys are walk-ons. The guys who didn't even get a scholarship,
Yeah,
man.
they
They
don't
just
start there.
stayed focused and worked hard, So, yeah, man. I mean, that's just focus and hard work, man. And grades, are the main 3 ingredients.
Agreed.
All right. Let me put this on quick before I forget. Down south, we have the Trench Mob, run by Julius Williams in Decatur, Georgia. He trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps across the country. Julius has sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. We have the Trench Mob podcast every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. If you want your kid to go to college and play Division I football and be trained by the best, you go to the Trench Mob. To contact them, go to www.battleofthetrenches.com. Ned Von Young owns Fresh Fold Laundry Company down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's a high-end laundry service. They wash, dry, and fold your clothes for you. They have a pickup and drop-off delivery service, so you can have your laundry done in the comfort of your own home without ever leaving. You put your laundry in a clear plastic bag, put it out, they pick it up, everything is done, wash, dried, and fold, and it is dropped off to you within 48 hours. They offer an expedited service as well. They have an online subscription model. You can also book online to schedule your pickups. They have deals for college students. So if you're in college, wash your nasty ass, and you can go to their website. It's myfreshfold-laundry.com. All right, Julius, correct the website.
Yeah, so we just changed it last month. So backstory, Coach Mike thought it would be more prevalent to change the website to Trench Mob instead of Battle
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
Trenches. So we changed it to trenchmobfootball.com. So if you're at home, you can type that in and go look at the beautiful job that Mike has done, created.
Yes. And I will make sure to record a different ad. All right. We will put our first player on, Mr. Jared Hill. Very excited to see him.
So this is one of my guys. I've been watching Jared for a good little minute. He's class of 27. Big body
Several
lineman.
offers.
Yeah, he's got 12. He just picked up his 12th one today. Definitely a P5 guy. You're gonna see in the film. Probably needs to do better a little bit with his feet. He has a good anchor. He has a good punch. Lanier High School down here in Georgia, good 6A ball. So, let's do it.
What position, Coach?
He's the right tackle.
Right tackle. Okay.
Oh, he's big bastard.
He's
He's
a
a big
monster.
Good punch.
Finishing blocks.
I love a player that
Pancakes.
can play with extension, man.
Oh yeah, he does a good
Pancakes on a
job right here
passport.
with double team. I need to play a little lower, but this is a good stance.
Yeah, his footwork's not bad.
That's why I think he needs the most of the work as his footwork.
I would put him in a narrower stance. I think he's a little too wide in his stance.
Absolutely.
I think he's got a stance like a 6'8" kid.
He's only 6'4". It's crazy.
Right. That's a great job on the reach block.
Good job right here on the reach block, hands in, all that good stuff. Jared, one thing about these big dudes, man, they got to learn how to dance, man. If they can't get around those blocks at 6'4", 315, they ain't got a chance, man.
They don't got time for that.
At all.
He comes off the ball nice. Comes off the ball low, keeps his chest over his knees. I like that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think if he narrows his stance just a little bit, I've never liked wide stances. I think you keep a narrower stance, so your first step, you step into your power.
Yeah.
You don't already want to be in it.
Well, most coaches, I don't know how Lewis does, but most coaches tell the big dudes to get that stagger, not the Joe Thomas.
I love the stagger.
A little bit of a wide stagger. Him here, he needs to just widen out just a little bit, so that way his kick slide can be a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah, you got to play the game as, if you're going to be a tall guy and you want to be in your stance tall, you can get away with, I think, being a little bit more narrow. But,
Yep.
I know a lot of dudes that like to squat down a little bit, you know what I mean? That want to get that wider base to be able to sink into the hips a little bit more. It really
Yep.
just depends on that athlete's flexibility and that comfortability level. I got a college guy right now. He's like 6'8", and he's like all of 6'8", and he's got a
Yeah.
pretty tall stance and a pretty narrow base. And I'm like, you could probably be a little bit wider, but you got to have the hips to be able to go if you're gonna do it. Otherwise it's
Right,
just gonna
right.
hinder you.
To be able to bend, right?
I
Mhm.
think he's got to get lower. I mean, he's a
Great.
good player for sure, but because he's so high, and I'm just speaking from a defensive end, you know, because he's so high, he's skipping instead of kicking, and
Exactly.
skippers.
Well,
When I
yeah,
watch
and
film, and
yeah.
when I watch film against skippers, I think power. I'm gonna put his ass on top of the quarterback.
Exactly.
You know,
Because he's
so
giving up the chest. Because as
yeah,
soon as he
exactly.
skips, he gives up his
Yep.
chest.
So yeah,
I'll
man. So
tell you
he
what.
can.
I'll tell you, when that dude gets his feet explosive, like that, because he's
Yeah.
doing all that basically just off of reaching and pulling
Right.
himself to blocks.
Right.
When that
No,
dude
you're
gets to a
right.
position where he can push, and I mean, that low, it's always funny because these big kids, it's like, they're strong, but it's like they haven't gone through a college development weightlifting program, or as extensive as weightlifting as they could. Like,
Mhm.
these kids, like, once they've realized, like, oh damn, I'm strong too, I'm not just big. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can run off this damn like that
Yeah.
takes you from here to here real quick.
And I
He
think
kind of
he's in
reminds
that-
me.
I think he's in
Go
that
ahead, I'm
stance
sorry.
because he knows when he gets to the next level, he's a guard and
Mhm.
he's a tackle because he's there. But I think he knows that soon, wherever school he goes to, he's playing guard. So
Yep,
He
for
reminds me
sure.
of like a CFL tackle, man. Like when I was in the CFL, we had to be a yard off the ball. So a lot of
Yes, it was
those
so
tackles,
nice.
so they didn't have to rush until
Yeah.
their kick.
You had
So
to
like
wait.
a lot of those guys skipped. So if you go to YouTube and type in Julius Williams, I'm putting that ass on top of quarterbacks because I mean, I am. You can go look at it. I mean, but it's because they were skipping, and the guys that sat, and got that base, it was harder to power those guys. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
young man, if you're watching, take my advice because they're going to be more D linemen like me, who love to power. And I powered way too much back then. That's why I got these 2 ACL tears and had to leave the game early. But
But,
but definitely,
when you
just
think about it, like those D linemen, you can get a D lineman to develop that pass bull rush quicker than you can get an O lineman to learn how to kick properly. You
That's
know what I
fact.
mean? And there's
That's
so many
fact.
damn kids that are out there that it's like, okay, you have the idea, but you're pulling or you're hopping. And it's really just trusting that you can push and cover that ground. And there's, I mean, that was my biggest like wake up call when I started training kids. I'm like, okay, just do a kick slide. And they're like, what is that? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
oh, what does your coach tell you? Or just shuffle out there. Oh, okay. Well, we got to fix that because that's not how O linemen move.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man,
No, you're
man,
right.
Lewis, man, you'd be surprised how many coaches down here say the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, half of the kids we got with the mob, I promise you, my first day, I'm getting them. I'm like, yo, can you give me a kick to post? They're like, what the hell is that? I'm like, you don't know a kick to
We got to climb.
Okay.
We
Don't
got a
worry.
climb to make.
Get your ass on that ladder. Get under
Yup.
this chute. Let's go to
Yup.
work. Let's go. Don't worry about
Get
it.
on the med ball. Get on the med ball.
Oh
Single
my
leg.
Lewis,
Yeah.
I knew we was here. I knew
Yup.
it.
Yup.
Man, they just
Yeah,
don't
'cause-
know. But I like Jared,
Nope.
man. I think Jared's a good kid. Hopefully we get him on the road. I would love to see him, one of these days, Julius. So
Yeah,
we'll
he's
see.
a Georgia kid. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you. His first kick was always very short, and then he would take an extended second kick with his inside foot, and that would throw him off a little bit. If he kicks a little deeper with his first step, then he'll be fine. That's,
But again, like you say, that baptism by
you look
fire
at the
too.
film. Yeah, and you look at the film, it's a lot of eye front, a lot of tight technique. So he's probably powering down, going to the kick. So there's always a method. He probably will hit me up after this and tell me there's a method. So we'll see.
Yup.
Good kid though, really good kid.
I love the like getting kids to play with their arm length. Like I said earlier, like that saved him on a lot of them. Was just, you know what, I'm just going to put my arms out here and keep you away.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids
he
can't
was
do that
getting
yet. So that's
good
impressive that he's
separation.
got good extension like that.
Yep.
So this is Matt Eliason. We got a Milton guy from Milton, Mass. All right.
I had
Milton
to get him
Academy.
in here.
All right.
I had to get him in here. He sent me some film, told me to look at it. I said, yes, sir. I looked at the first 2 seconds. I said, don't even worry about it. We're going to put you on the show. I seen 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I said, yep, let's go. And then he's from Mass. So
He is. Yes.
he just picked up an offer from Fordham. So he's offered up. He
Congrats,
might get
young
another
man.
one after today. So we'll see.
Shout out 12 Elite for Mass, man. My guy, Coach Maul, man. Molly Maul. We gonna
Shout out Coach
He's a
Paul.
great
see you
guy.
in California
Great
this
guy.
weekend, brother. See you in California.
Yeah. And when I was at Holy Cross, we took several kids from Milton. It's one of the best programs in the state, private school. It's really good. So I'm anxious to see him. 6'5", 305.
That's another big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, kids, stop doing
That's
that,
a
though,
little
man.
better.
Stop putting
A little
4-star
better.
DN on there, man. I don't stop doing that.
I hate when they do that. Like,
Yeah,
it's not going
right.
to change, like,
Yeah,
at all.
I'm looking at your technique, big fella.
Right.
I'm
This is
telling
very
you, they don't
serious
think these
life.
coaches, they think we care that he's a 5-star.
I love that.
Show me the rep against the no star.
Yeah.
Right. But I like what he got brings to the party, though. He's got a good punch. He knows how to anchor.
He's a big ass kid. Boy.
He's a guard,
Big
though.
kid. He's definitely a guard at 6'5". He's
Yeah,
definitely a guard.
he's a guard. He's a mauler.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's a mauler.
And there's some ball players in Mass too, man. Like Mass got some good ball, man. I
Jesus.
played with some dogs at UConn from Mass, man. You know, shout out my guy Jordan Todman, man. He's the president now for the
JT,
Jaguars.
Fincher,
Yep, Pincher. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of
Tyler.
guys, man. Yeah.
Hey,
I like how
hey,
he's light on
Coach
his
Jordan.
feet. Yes, sir.
Coach Jordan, I got a question for you. How do you feel
Yes.
about this? I feel like it's like an epidemic of like, especially tackles. It's a lot of old linemen. They get to the top of that rush and they like hip toss dudes.
Yeah.
I hate
It's
it.
like, you know, I'm
Throwing,
like,
yeah.
I'm like,
It-
bro,
it's a
I'd rather
hold.
see you just hold the dude right in place. That's more disrespectful. First of
Or
all,
work some
Lock
technique
down.
and stay in front. Like, people hip toss because they want a pancake and they want that highlight
Yeah.
tape. I'm against it. I work
Yeah.
technique.
Well,
If
you
I'm
risk
gonna
getting a hold.
rush,
Yeah.
I'm gonna push the shit out of you and make you fall, put hands
Yep.
on you, work a trap technique. Like,
Yep.
I hate hip toss. Coach Julius
The
will tell you
hold
that.
it.
I hate it.
And
you-
so you
and
know
you
hip
never
toss
know.
on the road this year. They're taking the point away for hip toss.
No,
You know that?
it's a hold.
Okay,
they
great.
see it
I'm
as
okay
a
with that.
takedown.
It's a hold, and you never know. What if that quarterback drifts off right to your left?
You
and you're
throw him
throwing
right
it
into him.
Right.
Like,
You just
Yeah.
never know. So I hate him. I hate him.
I'd rather keep the guy in front of me personally.
Man, that shit made me want to fight,
I'm
man.
telling you, like right there. Like instead of
I'm-
just ride him up. I tell my guys, ride him out. If he spins
Yep.
back up.
Wide.
I mean,
wide.
I feel like this. I feel like if you get me, you get me. But that
Get
hip
me,
toss
get
and
him.
shit and
It's
all that,
extra.
I
It's
hate
extra.
that
It's
kind of.
extra.
That's
Then,
disrespectful.
then it's going to be
It's
on.
like,
Yeah.
it's like
And
the
then-
bull rush.
Then it's
Like
on.
we D-lineman in bull rushing. Like,
And
like,
here's
That's a
the
skill.
thing, man.
Like, that's
Here's
just
a little
doing dumb
tidbit
shit.
for the offensive lineman. Don't piss the D lineman off.
Right.
Like, don't like that. You got to know when to piss the D lineman off, right?
Yeah,
And it's not
true, right.
It's not hip tossing the dude. And my favorite is when you got the guys who do shit to piss the guy off, and then the next play they're going against you, and it's like, all right, bro. Well, fuck, I didn't make you mad. My buddy did.
bro, I'm dropping every move I got after a hip toss. I'm coming straight down the middle, trying to break your fucking neck. like straight up. Like straight
So
up. I
the
don't
good
play
thing
that
about this
disrespect.
film, it ain't a lot of hip tossing, so I'm okay with it. This is a good
Yeah.
kid. I
Like,
like
he
it.
play.
Yep.
He-
No,
he
yeah,
just-
oh yeah.
he look-
He can just move his feet. He just doesn't have to stop. He could just keep.
He just
keep moving.
he just looks like he's got short arms. That's the only thing I would say. He's definitely a guard.
That's it. Hey, Juice, if Maul don't get him, hey, he can come home.
Definitely. I mean, hey, man, Maul probably watching this right now, man. He probably already wrote him down.
So he just picked up Fordham.
Yes, he picked up 4 of them, and
Great.
he's got 2 other offers.
That's
Man,
awesome.
they got a hell of a left tackle, man. The Asian kid, William Lee, man.
Oh,
He,
no,
he,
big,
he,
big,
he, he,
big
yeah,
Yao Ming.
he's starting to heat up, man. I saw him getting a couple offers today, man. He's heating up. He's 27.
Yeah. Look, man, if you watching this, young man, you got good feet, good hands, you're a good player, come holler at us. Come get some
Yeah,
Very
man.
good player. Very good.
Yeah,
Very
man,
good.
go see Coach Maul, man. Coach Maul, man. Coach, 12 Elite. Go holler at. We'll love to see you on the road, big fella, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Oh, yeah.
awareness.
We'll definitely keep up with you, for sure.
I got to send him tomorrow.
Does a nice job on the counter.
Very athletic, shows the athletic ability to pull.
And
This
it's
is the
so-
film. This is an offensive lineman highlight tape. First
Yeah,
couple
'cause
plays are good. You throw in some runs. Yeah, it's 6 minutes long, but you got the pass pro and the
But you
knockdown.
show it all.
You got that out the way. Coaches can see, okay, he's a little light on his feet, this and that. We can work with that, or we can't work with that. Is this, that, and the fifth? Okay, you get to the next play, he's knocking dudes down. This is how offensive lineman
Reach
highlight
block,
takes you.
yeah.
Got
Yeah,
the reach
'cause-
block, and it's all at the end. You got all the crazy stuff at the end, and it's way more pass pro because that's what coaches want to see. So this is a good
'cause
thing.
It's all pass heavy league, and
Yep.
you see him pull nicely on counter. He does a nice job on his double teams. His awareness
that was
on
nice
pass
right there.
blocking is great.
That redirection
Where
was nice
he's
right there.
he's always looking for work,
Yeah.
which I like. Always looking for work.
He's got better feet than I thought. I mean, when the film first started,
does. He does.
now like this part of the film, like he's got a real smooth kick set, man.
Yeah.
The only thing that hurts him, I think, is he's got shorter arms.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can see it in his set because he's here. Instead of being most linemen, we're out here. You can see the T-Rex arms. They already out here with it. But he's using it good. He's using it real good.
And he does a nice job of keeping his base. He doesn't get too wide.
Mm-hmm. No, he's definitely a guard. I agree with you, Cully. He's definitely a guard, but he is kicking some ass attack.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be just fine.
And look at that vertical set to the 9 technique. That's my God.
Hey, we got to send him the Bomber, man. Shout out my guy Bomber, man. Matt Applebaum, O-line coach at BC, man.
He'll call you back in 2028.
Right.
We'll get him to call you back in 2028.
Hey, man, he's busy, man. He's busy.
He's not that busy.
No, that was good film, man. That was good look, man. Good kids. Great kids.
I liked him. Yeah, I liked him a lot. He's got a lot of potential.
Let me go to my notes real quick. Make sure.
All right. We'll put on Liam next.
Yeah, man. Liam's a guy from Minnesota, and I think we lost. Yeah, I think we lost Lewis. But yeah, man. I mean, he's a guy. So Liam is coming with us to California this weekend.
Okay.
So, for sure, man. So I'm anxious to see him. He really impressed us at the tryout.
I really I liked this film.
Mm-hmm.
It was short, but it was pretty good, and I was surprised to see he was a freshman. But this is like, yeah, it says he's a freshman.
Oh my God!
Unless I read it wrong, I thought it said he was a freshman. But yeah, he you can see him come off the ball.
I believe he's 27. I don't think he's a freshman.
Okay.
He's 26?
I think he's 27.
Oh, 27. Oh, that's even good. 6'4".
I could be wrong. I think he's 27 though.
All you gotta do is go up. 27, 3.4, 6'4", 260.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a real good job there. But this is another one, like, I think his stance is a little too wide.
This is a deep copy, so I can't see. I can't really see it. Here we go. I don't think that's too wild.
Oh no, that's not. No, he's fine there.
He's definitely cheating it though. I can tell it was a run.
Yeah.
He's sitting heavy.
Yeah,
Sitting
sure.
heavy. We can call that sitting heavy.
Yes.
Back got those knuckles on the ground.
Give it a dead giveaway.
The thing I liked about him, man, is he had lots of fight and played
Right.
with attitude, you know. And there was some really good edge guys up there, man, you know, that he was going against. And, you know, he held it down, man. He
What
was
is this? The storm system here for the film?
That's a compass.
It's a compass.
That's a compass.
Mike,
That is
you're
funny.
hired. Mike, you got to make his film.
Right.
That's
Right.
funny. Hey, this is good though. This is good work. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing.
Like, he can
Yeah,
play,
man.
man. I think he's going to fit in with our guys, too, man, because I'm telling you, like, he kind of,
Sure.
you know, he has that attitude, man, where he's not afraid. You know what I mean? And, I mean,
You're
I like
absolutely right, though. You
Yeah.
can. He does telegraph run pass.
Yeah. He gives it away. It's a dead giveaway.
He's sitting light and sitting heavy. He's getting comfortable.
Like,
so he
look
can do
at
his
his
job.
stance. Look at that left foot. Look at that stagger
Right.
compared to the right. He tightens it up a little bit in the run.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Like, look at this. Look at that base.
It's
And good jump though. Good jump set.
yeah, very good, very good. Oh, he plays defense too.
Oh, both ways type of guy.
Now, Julius, is he been offered yet?
So, to
Was
be
this the
honest with you,
guy? I saw one guy you gave me had 12 offers.
yeah, I'm
Maybe-
sorry. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what his current recruiting situation is.
Okay.
I didn't look that deep into him yet, but he's going to be offered soon coming with us. I promise you that.
Yeah, I got his. No, I have the other guy's Twitter. The other guy, Jamar Thompson. He was the one who was just offered by Rutgers, Virginia Tech. Yeah, this is the guy you gave me with 12 offers. This is the guy I watched earlier. But okay, this is the one that says his freshman regular season. Okay, that's why I got confused. All right, I'll put him up.
Freshman with 12 offers.
I
I
mean,
don't think this kid. I think
it says freshman regular season, but maybe it's a different
Old
highlight tape.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I can check. I can check back.
No, but this kid Jamar, man, he's a kid that's actually on Coach O's team, Coach Jordan. So he's we're gonna go against him in California. And Coach O sent me his profile, you know, because we were trying to get a list in to go to USC and go to UCLA.
Okay.
And I just happened to take a look at his film, man, and hey, and he's a defensive tackle. I'll tell you that much. When you look up P3 defensive tackle, you know, in the dictionary, and then you go on YouTube and ask for examples. You know, he's a great one. You know,
Dude. Definitely on a good team. Go down, Color.
I'll he's got a sophomore
I just
film.
seen his junior tape. I've seen something that says junior tape right there.
Oh,
Go up a little bit. Right there.
there
Jamar
we go.
Thompson, full junior
Got
year.
it. Got
He's a
it.
junior
All right.
now, and he got almost every offer in the goddamn book. I know
That's
exactly.
why we pay you the big bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid. But it's
he's
crazy.
a dog, man.
Well, it's crazy because his teammate was the defensive player of the year, and he's going to Liberty. And he the one with the offer.
Wow.
It's crazy. But West Boca has a good team. Shout out West Boca. They gave us hell last year in that championship.
Oh yeah,
Shout
sure
out
did.
West Boca, man.
West Boca the real deal, man. West Boca was almost winning championships, winning 5v5 tournaments with their regular O-line and D-line. not even guys they put together.
I wonder if they give us the star ratings of the guy he's playing against.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, he's quick.
So
he's a big dude. Real
he's
quick.
He's playing 3 and he's playing a shade. Wow.
He's a dog, man. I mean,
That's why he's got offers. I mean, they're so tough to find. 3 techniques and shades. The guy like that, Jesus.
God.
This dude's a trained killer.
Oh yeah, he like that.
I watched him earlier, and I just was I didn't watch this film. I watched his freshman film, and I thought he was great. Now it's like, wow.
This same kid that went against Drake when we was in Florida.
Yeah.
Him and Drake was battling. Man, yeah, this might be one of the best D tackles we see this year in 5v5.
You know, he the real deal, man. I'm looking forward to going against him in Cali, man. You know, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, for our young guys, our centers and guards, and you know, looking forward for the opportunity to face this challenge, man. These are the type of guys that help us make a name for ourselves. So,
yeah,
you know, I just definitely wanted to highlight them. I know when we get out there Sunday, man, you know, we're gonna be ops, but you know, Coach O, man, Coach O is a great guy, man. One of my mentors in 5v5, one of the guys who brought me into 5v5, you know, way back in the day, man. So, you know, shout out Coach O, shout out Stars mentoring, man, and you know, looking forward to seeing you guys in California. This is one of their best players for sure.
No, for sure.
This guy's unbelievable.
I seen him in the thread. I said, "Nah, I know Julius didn't just finesse something. I know for a fact he did. Hold on now."
He the real deal, man. He can play. He can really play.
Yeah.
He's what you call rough and rugged.
This is Florida too, so
yeah, Florida ball too. You know? Yeah, man. Whatever they're doing over there at West Boca, man, they need to keep doing it. You know,
for sure.
Now, do they play like IMG or anything like that, or they?
I don't think they do, but they played somebody from out of state this year. I know for a fact they did.
I know they won the championship last year.
And they won it this year.
They won it this year too? Okay, I didn't know they won it this year too, but yeah, they got some ball players.
Yeah, we both got some dudes.
Yeah, geez, he's got an agent and everything. Jesus. Minnesota offered him. Wow.
He's got Notre Dame. He's got some Michigan.
Oklahoma.
And it's crazy.
Michigan, Ohio State, motherfucker.
When he was at 5v5, Julius, they told me he only had 3 offers. 3-4 offers. Somebody told me that. And then right after that tournament, I think he did one more tournament, and he ended up going crazy.
That's what happens in 5v5, man. You know, get your name out there, man. That's what 5v5 is, man. Like, so many people criticize 5v5. But like I was telling a parent earlier, right? A parent that's a kid that's not going with us to California. And she was like, I don't understand why you guys would pick up and take these kids all the way to California when you can do football stuff right here in Georgia, right here in Florida, right in Florida, right in Alabama. And I told her, like,
I can't believe you kept your cool.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you can do football. Like, there's a rivals camp in Georgia this weekend.
Yeah.
And nothing against rivals, but you're not going to get the attention that you're going to get.
There's a lot against rivals.
Yeah, going to California and going against 5 stars and 4-star talent. Like, this is pretty much a clash, a meeting and clash of the Titans. That's why we go to California, because I'll give you my cheat code. I was talking to a couple guys the other night, and they were saying that, hey man, why we got to go all the way to California? And it's like, California is going to have about 25 teams out there. There's going to be lots of 5 stars, lots of 4 stars, tons of media. We're going to take guys with us.
Well, they just don't want to travel, or they just.
I mean, because it's expensive. I mean, it's $500 to get a plane ticket to go to California.
Well,
well, like your hotels in California, it's going to be $150 a night.
When you sign your NIL deal, you won't be complaining.
Exactly.
Jesus,
so, but like, this is the trip. This is going to be the biggest and most prevalent trip that we're going to take this year. We're going to take a lot of great trips. We're looking forward to going to Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and Miami, and Massachusetts, and Chicago. We're looking forward to going to all those places. But California is truly the Mecca when it comes to 5v5. Like, they were the first people doing this. Like, they take in California, 5v5 is taken just as serious as 11 on 11. So there's going to be all the who's who at this tournament. And every year, like Demola Jidhan, nobody knew who Demola was before he went to California. Zayden Walters, had a few offers. He went to California and blew up.
Love.
Kanan Edwards, went to California with no offers, got about 20 when he left. Just so many guys over the years, that have went out there and went against top talent and came back offered
That
up.
paid off. Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, man, I'm looking forward to going. I mean, it's a big challenge. Coach Chris is, the first guy in our coalition to ever have a 5v5 team. And so he knows how to organize these things. He has the respect of his peers. There's going to be lots of big-time kids out there, man. So we can't wait to go get the mix, man.
Do you have April booked up yet?
Yeah, so April, we got Ohio, I believe it's April the 5th. And then we got Orlando, April 17th. Then we got Miami, April 18th. And then our tournament is April 26th here in Georgia.
Okay.
So we only got 1 week off in April. So in March, we're pretty booked up in March. We're going to Pennsylvania. We got one in Atlanta that next week. And then we got another Atlanta group, Hustle Inc. is having a tournament. So we'll probably show up at that because we'll just be so fresh. We just got to go,
All right. Let me play this last video and ask you. Finally, we have James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial services. He specializes in life insurance and insurance policies. He will save you money, make you a boatload of money, and do so tax-free. He also specializes in retirement planning because we know the stress that goes into thinking about retirement. How much am I going to need? For how long? Do we have enough? Because fear of the unknown is real. To contact James, go to www.lutherjamesinsurance.com. So Julius, we were talking, 10,000 or whatever kids were in the portal, 3,000 or so got signed. There's 8,000 without a home and hoping injuries happen and miracles happen and they get picked up. They tried to go back to their old schools. They wouldn't take them or they didn't have spots for them. It's just, everything that's going on in the portal. I just wanted to get your thoughts. The situation at Duke where, Menza, the quarterback, had made his commitment, signed his revenue sharing agreement, and then at the 11th hour decides to go into the transfer portal. What were your thoughts there?
So to be honest with you, I wasn't familiar with that, but it's anyway, I'm not surprised, because these days, but these kids have no loyalty,
No.
and it's just, and I'll be honest, it used to really bother me because I'm a loyalty person. Like where I come from, my upbringing, I went to UConn because they were the first school to offer me. You know what I mean? And I got late offers, and I'm like, I'm not switching sides on UConn because they were recruiting me and offering me before anyone else. So I'm one of the few people in this world that still believe in loyalty. You got kids, Steve, that will be on our team, and they'll leave mid-season and go to another team. And it's happening in youth football. Youth football, I had a team called the Glenwood Gladiators, and next year you'll see a 8-year-old kid on your team playing for the rival team next year because somebody came in and talked to the parents, during the game. So it's it's just the landscape of football these days. For me, I feel like there's only 2 reasons to jump in the transfer portal, in my opinion. And those 2 reasons are if you know that you're a hell of a player and you just got guys in front of you who you're just not going to beat.
Exactly. Playing time.
It's just playing time. Or if you're at a smaller school and people are telling you, hey, man, I spoke to this coach at this school. He told me that if you go and get in the portal, he's going to come get you and he's going to pay you. Those are the only 2 reasons that I feel like guys should get in the transfer portal. And you
Exactly.
got too many of these guys that are gambling, you know. And I feel like
Yeah.
you shouldn't gamble with that. That should
Yeah.
be something that, who you've been given classified information, so you do it. And so many guys get stuck because of that gamble, so but I'm not surprised about the guy at Duke, man. I mean, it's a money thing now, man. These schools are,
And they're
you
suing
know,
each other now. Yeah.
yeah. So a school can swoop in at the 5th hour these days and just offer more money,
Yeah.
No, they can.
and that's what happens, And the guys
Yeah.
look. Man, I saw a funny skit. I can't remember who it was from, but he had a guy giving a speech at the end of the season, basically saying, "Hey, man, next year is going to be our year. I can't wait to lock in with y'all boys this off season and go back and do this and do this." And then after practice, he had him on the phone with like somebody saying that he was getting in the transfer portal and he was coming to the next school. And one of his teammates showed up like, "Hey, man, what happened to all that? What happened to that speech out there?" He was like, "Oh, man, that was just for the camera." You know what I mean? Like, I'm transferring, man. Good luck to y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the world we live in, man. I mean, like I spoke on myself. Like, there's guys that I've trained, since they've been high school or even middle school, and then you'll look up and you'll see them training with somebody else. You know what I mean? And that used to really bother me,
Yeah. You
but
can't take
a
it
lot of these
personally.
guys are guys you train for free, and then you'll see them training with somebody else and they're paying them. You know what I mean?
And
So it's
you
like,
did all the work.
yeah, man, you did all the work to groom them and get them there just for somebody else to just stand in the picture with them and say, "Look at this guy that I trained. He's a great player now." You know what I mean? So, I mean, but I'm used to it now, man. Like it doesn't even bother me. Like when I see things like that, I'm just like, okay. But most of the time, it's the parent, though, Steve. It's the upbringing. It's
No,
it's
I know it's
things
the
that have been
guidance
instilled in them.
around them. I know. They're kids. I mean, when I was their age, the subway sign off of I-84, we ripped it out of the ground and threw it through the subway window. So I mean, I know doing stupid things like kids.
See, when I was in Towers High School, Steve, I didn't like going to media day. I went to media day since 10th grade, 11th grade, a senior.
Yeah.
I went to media day because I was one of the best players on my team, and I hated going to
You
media
had to
day
do it.
because it was full of coaches that were trying to persuade me to leave Towers.
Yeah.
And I had so much loyalty to Towers High School. We didn't have shit. You understand? Like we barely had a weight room, anything like that. Right? But we built our own locker room from wood, from extra wood that my coach had. You know what I mean? Like it was that bad. But I loved my teammates. I loved my coaches. I loved my community. And you just don't have that these days. You got these guys who will transfer in a heartbeat.
No. Jordan, the other situation was Clemson, Dabo Sweeney. They take the transfer linebacker from Cal. He comes in, he gets the apartment, the car, the revenue sharing agreement. He's taking class, training with the team. Ole Miss tampering with him, calling him, texting him, and he notifies them, and they ask him several times, "Are you going to go? Do you want to stay? Do you want to stay?" He keeps saying, "Yes, I'm staying. I'm staying." Then last Friday, he leaves. That blew me away.
Yep.
And they even called the general manager at Ole Miss, and they said, "Hey, listen, this is going on. Stop fucking with our kids." They kept fucking. And it's just like, well, and the GM said, "Well, Coach Golding's going to do what Coach Golding does." And Sweeney was the first one to file official tampering charges for the transfer portal. Everyone complains about it, but nobody's filed official charges. I don't know what they're going to do about it. But, I mean, in reality, if you're going to go in the portal, you have to make a decision probably by October, November.
Mm-hmm.
You have your agent. You have a third party reaching out. You have visits set. So when January 2nd hits, the NCAA made a huge fuck up by making it 15 days and starting at January 2nd. It's a mad scramble. UConn brought in 64 new guys. I mean, yeah. And they thought that it was going to deter kids from going into the portal. It just made things
four.
worse.
He just made it worse, yeah. I mean, to speak on the situation, because I know it's a two-part. To speak on the Clemson situation, it goes back to what Coach Julius just said. There's no loyalty. And to go from a Clemson, which had a down year, to go to Ole Miss, anybody would take that. And Dabo is one of those coaches. He immediately said out loud, I'm not touching the portal. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So it doesn't surprise me that he was the first coach to say, hey, this school's messing with my player. I don't like it. We got to do something about it. But, I mean, let's be honest here. You go to Clemson.
It was a kid that transferred in. That's
right.
what blew my
But see,
mind.
that's the thing. You transfer from another school. You go to Clemson. Clemson gives you everything.
And then you go somewhere.
Here comes the SEC, and we're like, here. And we just played for a championship. There's no loyalty. Money will talk in any way situation, whether you have a parent or whether you have an agent. And it's worse with agents because agents getting NIL is getting 20%. So
that's the thing. There's no regulation.
You are screwed within itself. Now, as far as this portal thing, the NCAA should have known that 15 days is not enough. When you open that portal door, this is just me personally. You get 1 week. You get 1 full week to figure out what you want to do. Because in that time frame, kids can go in the portal, kids can go back out the portal. You got quarterbacks that's been in the portal every year they've been in college. You got people suing the NCAA trying to get extra eligibility because they want more money that they were going to get to the NFL. It's like, look,
campus,
it's like, listen, let's make this thing 1 full week. As soon as your final game is, you cannot transfer during the season. I think that's tacky. I think, excuse my French, I think use a hoe for that because it's like, why would you come to this school and you're leaving week 4? I can see if your coach got fired. I can see if your position coach, something happened, something happened at the crib, you had to leave. That's fine with me. But if you just 4 weeks in and you balling or you're a red shirt, you're trying to figure it out, and you hit the portal, that is bitch shit.
Well, you got guys, Jordan, you got guys transferring in the middle of the spring.
In the middle of the spring, like
that is
it is hoish activity, and I am against it 100%. I'm all for the portal. Don't get me wrong. You want to transfer, but to do it week 4, middle of the spring, 2 practices, 3 practices in, no, you don't transfer until your final game. Whether you go to the national championship or whether you go 0-12. Once your final game ends, you can transfer as long as you got the right people, as long as you know the right people, and as long as you know what school you're going to. That needs to be in.
But you know what, Coach Jordan, like respect and integrity are not being taught anymore.
No.
Like you got dads that are eager to be their child's friend. You got coaches. Yeah, like you got coaches that, are fans of these guys. You know what I mean? So coaching. Exactly. So like back in my day, man, like bro, it just would be if I'm going to transfer, I'm not going to voice it. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep being a good teammate. And then I remember when I was at UConn, I was going to transfer 1 year, right? And I'll be honest, I got beat out, right? I was supposed to be the starting linebacker, okay? I started the whole spring, but my sophomore year, and then going into the season, I lost out, right? And I got beat out. So I went to Coach Etzel after the season, and I told him, look, hey, Coach, I'm transferring. I didn't go to my teammates and say that because I love my teammates. I didn't want to bring that bad energy. But these days, man, as soon as these guys are transferred, they're bitching and moaning, they start pouting, and they're voicing their opinion, and it's a distraction. You know what I mean? You got guys,
media.
Man, I've had guys call me week 3, week 4 of the season. Hey, Coach, I want to transfer. Can you start talking to schools for me? Like, bro, you may start week 6, week 7. Somebody may get injured, and you may go in there and start and get you 6 sacks, and now you're the man. And I'm so glad I didn't transfer when I was at UConn because the very next year I led the team in sacks. They moved me to defensive end. You know what I mean? So sommes it's good to fight through adversity, man.
You have to.
One thing that is taught in 2026 that all kids, parents, coaches, everyone has to learn. You have to lose before you win.
Yeah.
Let's take Trench Mob, for example. Take me out of the equation. Trench Mob was not a powerhouse. If I'm wrong, Coach Julius, you tell me I'm wrong. Was not a powerhouse 2 or 3 years ago. When California was a trip, people didn't really want to come. It wasn't a big deal. We're going to go up here. We took a couple lumps. We did this. We did that. Coach Julius didn't say, okay, I'm folding this shit. Nobody want to take it serious. I'm gone. No. Let me go find some more people. Let me see how this thing's going to be ran successfully. Let me get with my 5v5 people. Let me finesse something. All right. Here comes a crazy-ass O-line coach to pair with Coach Chris, and we're going to make it happen. And what happened? We go down to Florida. We in our first championship in years. Our B team is here, and we win our first championship. Then last year, we win 4 national championships, 100% graduation rate. And Julie's been doing this for 10 years. He's been doing competition for 5. And the last 2 years, including this one, because this was going to be successful, it has been good. You have parents and players out here that are literally saying, if this don't go right, instead of me thugging it and weighing out my options and saying, you know what, if they want me to change position, I will. If they want me to lift more heavyweight, they just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Let me get up out of here quick and then leave. And it doesn't happen, then they blame me coaching. Ma'am, you left.
Yeah. A lot of times it's on them, Coach Jordan, because the thing is, man, development is a thing. And most people don't want to develop.
Takes time.
Yeah, and like I said,
They want
a lot of people. I'll give you a
gratification.
story. Not even a lineman. It was a kid. I won't say his name. He plays receiver. He's about 6'5", 180. The school he was at, he was going to be the man. He was going to be top dog. He said, you know what? I'm leaving. It's going to be a new coach. I'm transferring to Langston Hughes. Got no problem with that. But when he transferred to Langston Hughes, he told the whole hood he was going to play. He was going to do this. It don't matter receiver position. He's playing. You not know that fool only played 3 games in 2 years. Now, he killed it in track, but on the football field, every offer he got was camp offers, and half of them bitches wasn't even real.
Yeah.
That is going on because of a little bit of adversity. Now, again, like Coach Julius said, if you have to leave, mama got sick, something going on, they're not giving me playing time knowing I'm doing good. That's fair. Your coach get fired, all this other stuff. But if you just leaving because somebody told you was going to get a guaranteed offer, and if you come here, you're going to play right away, do this, do that, and you don't do that, even if it's your junior or senior year, that's nobody's fault but yours because you decided to take a risk instead of thugging it. It is people that we all know of guys that go to bad schools, terrible schools, and they thug it. Me and Coach Julius just saw them go to Florida State. We just saw that. They had every chance to leave. We begged them to leave. No disrespect to those schools. Like, bro, if you do this, I promise you. But they said, no, Coach Jordan, Coach Julius, I think I'm going to finish it out. I don't care what happens. I'm ready to go to school. And they asked us at Florida State about to compete for some starting spots. You have to have adversity to be great. Everyone has it. But they're not teaching that in households. They're not teaching that at football practice. They're just not doing it. So when the hard shit happens or when good coaching happens, like where me, Cully, and Julius bring to the equation, people don't know if it's bad or we just yelling just to yell. It's bad. It's bad out here.
Cully,
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Cully, it took me 2 years to learn UConn's campus, to even learn.
Oh, I used to get lost as a senior.
Where I was going. So can you imagine some of these guys, they're only staying at these universities for 3 months. They don't even know how to get around. They don't need, bro, I was talking to a kid earlier. He's been at the school for a year, and I asked him about another kid. He's been at the school for 2 years. I'm sorry. I asked him about another kid that was his teammate. He didn't even know his teammate. He didn't even realize that kid that I was speaking about was on his team. Because it's that me mentality. It's the me. It's not even about the team. It's not even about getting to know your teammates. It's not about brotherhood anymore. It's not
No.
about, I'll go to bat for these guys. I'll go to war with my guys. It's about what's in it for me. And I get it. It's like the NFL. They're paying guys money now, right? But at the same time, I just miss that, man. I just miss,
I do too.
that team-oriented feel. Like, I just miss I'm not going to leave my guys. There were guys at UConn that I played with. They could have left, but I think they stayed because it was important to them to finish what they started. A lot of guys probably missed out on opportunities, but but you have dignity. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like I'm glad I stayed because now I feel more accomplished staying and going through adversity and ended up on the right side in the end. So for sure.
There's no more. I gotta fight for this. To your point, to the brother, there is no more when it comes down to recruiting because there's so much money being thrown at, and we can change lives and people getting paid to commit and all this. To your point, Julius, it's like I might as well get mine and call it a day. Like, and again, everybody up here is not against kids transferring or NIL or any of that. If you're going to transfer, make it a great decision. What we are saying is have a reason and have a plan to do it. And if you have adversity, just fight. If you are a 3-year starter at a school and you pick your senior year, we have all seen that. It has happened for the good. It has happened in bad situations. And you're in your senior year and you're choosing to dip. Give me a clean reason. Coach, my coach got fired. I want to be close to my mom. I got to get out of certain states because they don't have spring ball. That is fine. But if I hear, I'm leaving because, my AAU coach over there told me I could get Virginia to my first day there, and your ass don't get Virginia, then whose fault that is?
No, I agree with you. I don't think you can have success in life or in football without being able to deal with adversity and overcome adversity. And if you think you can otherwise, you're mistaken. You have to be able to handle it, deal with it, and not always turn and run from it. And the grass is not always greener.
Yeah. It's like life, man. You got a lot of guys out here, man. They leave that good home. They leave that good homely girl, man. That's treating them good for that hot girl. The next thing you get over here with that hot girl, man, and she want to go out all the time and take the provocative pictures on Instagram, and you're like, man, I wish I would have stayed with my nice homely girl who would have just raised my kids the right way. And you out here with this hot girl, now you got to chase behind her.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, great show, guys. Great show. Great players. It was great seeing your guy from Minnesota. I think he's gonna be a great asset. And you're going to be going up there, so I'm excited that you're going to be working with them, and they're going to be going to Florida. Anxious to see how they do, and keep bringing on the prospects. I got contacted by some kids too on Instagram that I'll pass along as well. But yeah, I mean, just the portal thing. I'm going to go through that app because just hearing there's 7,000-8,000 kids without a home. There's got to be some that can play and just didn't do it the right way or didn't have a plan. Just said, I'm going in the portal. So
it's about to be a bunch of security guards coming up in the next 2026 and 27. Guys that jumped in the portal and come find a home. Now you go join. Now you got to go 6'5", 315. Hey man, now you got to go and get a security job.
They're going to have
whole
staff.
bunch of bouncers at the strip club these days.
Right, bunch of bouncers. They could have been college football players, but they stuck it out.
And again, we're only talking to the players that transferred for no reason. If your school told you to leave, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's happening too.
A whole different ballgame.
That's happening too.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of kids just got bad guidance, and whether it was from the agent. They have to put some certification on the NIL representatives.
Oh my God, Steve, that's a whole other show right there, Steve.
That's a
whole other show. Like, you know how many fucking dads are NIL agents now?
Yeah, they are. They all think they can.
Because it's like I watch my son go to school, so now I can represent all these other kids.
Yeah,
now.
I can negotiate
What?
contracts. I can do this. I can do that.
I got my kids a couple of offers. I got some relationships with coaches now.
Oh.
Now I'm going to be.
I got my law degree on Twitter, so I know that's what I always say.
Oh shit! Yeah, man.
Man,
All right,
man.
well,
it's bad, man. It's bad.
great show, guys. I appreciate it. We will talk soon. For Julius Williams, Coach Jordan, the Trench Mob, I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and go to California.